I'm Jojo the Song Witch, and this is the Song Witch Podcast. Alchemy for the Modern Mystic. There are moments in life when reality doesn't break, it simply thins. Moments when you feel the air shift, the light tilt, and for just a heartbeat, you sense that you've stepped into a scene you didn't remember walking into. This full moon in Gemini is one of those moments. Gemini is the flicker in the film, the dissolve between frames, the invisible seam where one story ends and another begins. Most thresholds announce themselves. They creak open, they call your name, but not Gemini. Gemini slips the door open quietly and lets you wander across the boundary without ever noticing the moment you crossed. You find yourself already inside the dream long before you realize you've left waking life behind. This full moon is a dream door, and all of us are standing on the threshold. For weeks, we've been held inside Scorpio's deep waters, moving through shadows, memories, the underworld terrain of what we've carried for far too long. Scorpio is the descent, the reckoning, the moment the old skin begins to loosen. But Scorpio never shows us what comes next. It only prepares us for it. Gemini is the bridge we cross on the way out of the underworld. Not the bright return, not yet, but the in-between world, the place where the psyche wanders like a traveler between two myths. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the psychopomp, the messenger who walks freely between realms and escorts us through the spaces where meaning hasn't formed yet. Under this moon, Mercury doesn't speak in sentences. He speaks in symbols, in double meanings, in dream logic, in surreal moments that feel out of order but perfectly arranged at the same time. This is the liminal seam, the psychological edge between the story we've been living and the one that is trying to be born, and this full moon eliminates that seam with a kind of strange electric clarity. You may feel memories surfacing without context. You may sense conversations rearranging themselves. You may notice that the old narrative doesn't quite fit anymore, and the new one hasn't fully announced itself. This isn't confusion, this is transition. This is the moment in the myth when the hero leaves the underworld but has not yet stepped into the sun. When the dream world still clings to their skin and the new identity is still gathering its shape. Gemini's full moon pulls us into the dream layer, the place where reality bends just enough for revelation to slip through. And here's what makes this particular moon extraordinary. We are crossing this threshold while the sun stands in Sagittarius, the storyteller, the meaning maker, the part of us that gathers all the scattered pieces and weaves them into truth. So the arc becomes clear. Scorpio is the descent, Gemini is the dream door, Sagittarius is the revelation. Death, threshold, and meaning. Shadow, dream, and truth. Old story, liminal story, new story. It's one of the oldest initiatory sequences in astrology, found in the rites of Eleusis, in Hermetic mysteries, in the myth cycles of Persephone, Orpheus, and Inanna. A journey begins in the dark, passes through the dream, and ends in illumination. We don't often live this entire arc in a single season, but when we do, everything changes. And because this is in Gemini, the sign of jump cuts, symbolism, and reality that bends like film, the threshold often arrives in surreal, poetic ways. Sometimes the psyche opens a door in the exact place where symbolism is strongest. Sometimes you feel the world tilt in a moment that feels almost cinematic, as if you've wandered into a David Lynch frame where dream and waking life meet in the same breath. And the reason it feels strange is because it is strange. Liminality always is. It's the moment the psyche stops using logic and starts using poetry. And the poetry chooses you exactly when you're ready to hear it. Under this full moon, the psyche is rearranging itself. Old narratives are dissolving, new ones are forming in the invisible, and somewhere between those two stories is the seam, the exact place where your soul is rewriting your life. You don't notice the moment of crossing. You only realize it when the light returns, and you understand that something essential has changed. This moon is the crossing. This moon is the seam. This moon is the dream door opening. Step through it gently. The next version of your story is waiting on the other side. This is the Song Witch Podcast, Alchemy for the Modern Mystic. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.